Okay, now some interesting things to look for whenever you're out walking in the woods in the wintertime is we can see in front of us, we can see all of this down dead wood. That's a good thing. The reason for that, that means that there's a better chance of us finding mushrooms here, various species of mushrooms. Some may be edible, some may be medicinal, some may just be regular mushrooms that you don't want to eat. But another thing that's really important to look for is to know what type of plants could possibly grow in any environment. My favorite way to do that in the wintertime is to simply look at the ground. If we look at the ground here, one thing that we can see is there's a lot of maple leaves. Just like we can see right here, this dead maple leaf that's on the forest floor. And if we look all around us, there are loads of these maple leaves. There is an oak leaf right here. This looks like a red or a black oak, most likely. That's a good sign too, because that means there's oaks nearby, which there are other mushrooms that associate with oak trees. Another interesting thing about this is oak trees generally, where they grow is generally a lot drier and a little more acidic because of the tannic acid that goes into the soil from these trees. So that tells us up here is most likely going to be a lot of beech, maple especially. We're probably going to find some beech. As a matter of fact, I can see some beech trees around the area, but that also tells us that there's going to be more moisture-loving plants come spring. You're going to be finding things like Solomon seals here. You're going to be finding things like Trilliums, my favorite plant. You're going to be finding Jack in the pulpit, wild oats, possibly morels. It looks like there's some ash trees in the area and some tulip poplar, judging by the bark of the trees, and we'll talk about some of those as well here in a second. Now, just because this is a moisture-loving forest doesn't mean that there's going to be like your jewel weeds or your cattails, because this isn't the area where you want to find those. If we look off back over there, we can notice that there's this huge section of red pine trees. We see these pine trees up there, so that's a good sign too, because there are some plants and mushrooms that can associate with pine. Another good thing about finding the pines is we can see the lay of the land and see this gentle slope that goes down this direction. So we have a slope with some runoff that's going to be providing more moisture here in this section of the woods, and up over there it's going to be a lot drier. If we look very carefully, we can see what looks like a big clearing right back over there. Versus over here, we can see more trees. So let's go look at this clearing over here and see what we find. Okay, now I only got about 20 feet from where we last were, and right here are some greenbrier leaves. So that means we have greenbriers growing here, which is a really good thing because these plants are actually edible. Not this time of year, unless you want to dig the root up. The root is really big, but this kind of gives us an idea of how the land is changing as we go through the environment. And that lets us know, okay, here's some greenbrier leaves. So we do have greenbriers. And then right here we have blackberry. We have some blackberry vines that are starting to grow here. So these weren't here last year, but that means that most likely either this year or the year after, they're going to really have a pretty good production of berries, most likely, if they don't get trampled off the edge of this trail. Right here in front of us with these leaves, these brown leaves on this tree, that lets us know that this is a beech tree. There are some really good choice edible mushrooms that will associate with beech trees, generally much larger beech trees, but this is a good thing to let us know how the land is switching. And if we look up, we can actually see we're getting closer to those pine trees that we talked about just a couple of minutes ago. Now, if you guys remember that looked like that clearing a couple of minutes ago that we looked at, this is where we're at right now. And this is really flat, and we can see some pine needles growing up over there. So we can see some pine trees, some young pine trees growing there. And if I look on the ground, I can find a lot of sycamore leaves and some tulip poplar leaves. So that tells me there's a big tulip poplar here, which is going to be that big tree right there is a tulip poplar. So that's a really good sign because morels and oyster mushrooms will associate with tulip poplars. Also, because of this flat, high ridge kind of landscape, and with some of the clearings here, we might actually get some field growing plants like yarrow or oxeye daisy or bee balm growing here. There's not near enough open land for echinacea, but we might get like gray-headed coneflower or green-headed coneflower that loves to associate with more woodland clearings and environments like we see right here. So this could be a very good potential spot in the middle of the spring all the way up to the middle of summer to look for some of those types of plants that like to associate with these types of environments. Now, as we're walking through, one thing I noticed was this green twig, this green sapling growing right here. And this is a sassafras tree. Your young sassafras trees are generally going to be really green in appearance, especially when they're really young. These are really, really, really flavorful ones to get if you're looking for sassafras tea or to make your own root beer. These are excellent. Or if you want to make sassafras syrup, you can make syrup out of these by taking the root, making the tea, adding sugar, and then boiling it down, and then you get sassafras syrup. So this tells us that there's going to be some more sassafras trees within this area. As we look around, we can notice more of these greenbriers growing around too. So this tells us we've got a lot of things, and we've already found a lot of different plants that could grow here, and we found several that we know do grow here. So this is already a very successful scouting trip, and we're only about 30 to 40 feet from the last place that we looked at. I'm about 100 yards from my vehicle right now. And I only just walked a couple more feet, and here I noticed this rub on the tree. This is an old rub. It's not fresh, but this is an old deer rub from an old deer, probably last year or the year before. It's really hard for me to tell, but this is an old rub, so that means that deer also frequent this area. So that must mean there's another good resource nearby because deer are trying to keep this as part of their territory. Okay, we're on our way towards the back of the field, and I noticed this plant growing here with this square stem. So that means we have a species of mint that also likes to grow here. And with the way mint grows, that means that there's probably going to be even more next year because mint really loves to spread over an area rather rapidly. Well, we just walked a few more feet, and here we can find this water source. So this tells us that this would be a good area most likely for hunting as well. Deer and squirrel and turkey are going to be going all over this water source because this thing is here year-round. So that's a really good sign. We've only gone about 200 to 300 yards from my vehicle, and we have found multiple plants. We found several different types of environment, and we found a water source. Now remember earlier whenever I said that we found some oak leaves on the ground? Let's see if right back over there is actually some oak trees or an oak grove. Because if there are, then we know there's an even better environment for hunting, and with oak trees you can get things like acorns, which are really, really good for foraging, and they're absolutely delicious if you leach them properly. So let's go see what we find back over here. Now as we're walking, we want to make sure we keep an eye on the ground a lot too, so we can see what types of trees are available in the area, because trees will help dictate the soil that we possibly have in the region. And that's a good thing to know because different plants will associate with different types of trees and they'll associate with different types of soil. Speaking of different trees, right here is one of the old flower fruits from a tulip poplar. So we know there's also still some tulip poplars coming back over in here, which is good. So I think this guy came from that really big tulip poplar tree right there in front of us because it's so close. But as I look around on the ground, I'm noticing a lot more oak leaves. Like we could see that oak leaf there and that oak leaf there. There's some beech, there's some sycamore leaves. There's some maple still scattered throughout. So that's a really good sign. We're seeing a transition from moist forest with tulip poplars and beech and maple to start to transition in towards oak habitat that we're starting to find over in here. So let's go confirm that suspicion. All right, after walking about another 12 to 20 feet, this is how easy this stuff can be, guys. It's really easy to do some scouting and to get a good idea of what you have. Here we can see a lot of oak leaves all over the ground. A lot of them. Just oak leaves everywhere. So we know this is a good oak environment and a good place to find acorns. It'd also be a good spot for deer hunting, turkey hunting, and squirrel hunting because all of those critters really love to go after acorns. Now the further we go, I'm noticing the more oak leaves that I'm finding on the ground. A whole lot of red and black oak trees. A whole lot of them around here, and it looks to be some white oak. Judging by this round-edged leaf, this round-lobed leaf, which means there's white oak in the area as well. So right now we've already discovered quite a few things in this environment that we've been scouting. We know that there is some moist forest with beech and maple and plants that can associate with that. We know there's blackberries. We know there's greenbriers. We know there's a good chance to find things like Solomon seals or trilliums or garlic mustard even, wild onions, leeks, etc. We can find all those different plants. We know that there's some areas and trees that various mushrooms like morels and oyster mushrooms like to associate with. We know there's some red pine in the area, which is great for pine sap. We know there's deer rubs and deer activity within the area. We know that there's squirrel activity and probably turkey activity within the area as well because of all the oaks and acorns. We know that they have a water source nearby, so that way we know all of these different things and we can put all these pieces together and determine whether or not this is going to be a good spot for us to look later in the year for foraging. So I hope this video has helped give you guys some ideas on things to look for and what to pay attention to whenever you are out in the woods scouting come wintertime. I thank all of you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.